The woman said yes to everything until it destroyed her life. What ancient philosophy taught her next will shock you. Sarah sat in her car outside the office party, hands trembling. She'd just agreed to organize the entire event again. But here's what terrified her most: she didn't even want to go to the party, let alone plan it. Sound familiar? You're not alone. The hidden prison of people-pleasing. What if I told you that your need to make everyone happy is actually a form of slavery? The ancient Stoics understood something we've forgotten. When you live for others' approval, you become their prisoner. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, wrote something that will change how you see yourself forever. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. But here's where it gets interesting: the shocking truth about nice people. People pleasers aren't actually nice. They're terrified. Behind every yes when you mean no lies a deeper fear: rejection, abandonment, being seen as selfish or difficult. The Stoics called this living according to externals, basing your worth on things outside your control. And here's what modern psychology confirms: it's destroying your mental health. Studies show people pleasers have higher rates of anxiety, depression, and burnout. Why? Because you're living someone else's life instead of your own. But there's hope, if you're brave enough to hear it. Epictetus, born a slave who became Rome's greatest philosophy teacher, discovered the secret to true freedom. His revelation: no one can hurt you without your permission. Think about that. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you're giving permission to be used. Here's a question Marcus Aurelius asked himself daily: am I living according to my values, or am I living according to others' expectations? Take a moment. Think about your last week. How many decisions did you make to avoid disappointing someone? How many times did you sacrifice your time, energy, or peace of mind just to keep others happy? If you're honest, the number might frighten you. The most powerful word in any language isn't yes, it's no. But here's what people pleasers don't understand: saying no to one thing means saying yes to something better. When Cato the Younger refused to compromise his principles, even when threatened with death, he wasn't being stubborn. He was demonstrating the ultimate freedom, choosing your response regardless of consequences. But how do you find that courage? The 3 pillars of Stoic self-respect. Pillar 1, the Dichotomy of Control. This is where transformation begins. The Stoics divided everything into 2 categories: what you control and what you don't. You control your thoughts, values, decisions, and responses. You don't control others' opinions, reactions, or approval. Here's the life-changing realization: when you base your self-worth on things you don't control, you become emotionally unstable. One criticism can devastate you. One person's disapproval can ruin your day. But when you focus only on what you control, your character, your choices, your integrity, you become unshakable. The exercise that changes everything. Tonight, before bed, ask yourself: what did I do today that aligned with my values, regardless of others' opinions? Write it down. This simple practice rewires your brain to seek internal validation instead of external approval. Pillar 2, preferred indifference. The Stoics had a radical idea: most things we stress about are indifferent, neither good nor bad in themselves. This includes others' opinions of you. Yes, it's natural to prefer being liked over being disliked. But here's the key: it's not essential for your happiness or worth. When someone disapproves of your boundaries, remember, their opinion is a preferred indifferent. Nice to have, not necessary for your well-being. The mental shift that transforms fear. Instead of thinking, what if they don't like me, start thinking, what if living for their approval prevents me from becoming who I'm meant to be? This reframe changes everything. Suddenly, people-pleasing isn't just exhausting, it's holding you back from your potential. Pillar 3, virtue as the sole good. The Stoics believed only virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, is truly good. Everything else, including popularity, is external and ultimately unimportant. This isn't about becoming cold or uncaring. It's about recognizing that your moral character matters more than your social status. The question that ends people-pleasing: before making any decision, ask, is this choice aligned with wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance, or am I acting from fear of disapproval? This question cuts through confusion instantly. It reveals whether you're acting from strength or weakness, virtue or fear. The practical path: from pleaser to Stoic. Week 1, the awareness challenge. For 7 days, notice every time you feel the urge to please someone at your own expense. Don't judge it, just observe. Write it down. Most people are shocked by how often they abandon themselves for others' comfort. Week 2, the small no challenge. Practice saying no to small, low-stakes requests. No, I can't pick up coffee for everyone. No, I can't work late tonight. Start small. Build the muscle. Notice that the world doesn't end when you prioritize your needs. Week 3, the values inventory. List your top 5 values. Then review your schedule and commitments. How many align with your values versus others' expectations? This exercise often reveals a shocking truth. You're living someone else's life. Week 4, the boundary implementation. Choose one area where you've been overextending yourself. Set a clear boundary and communicate it respectfully but firmly. I've decided to limit my volunteer commitments to focus on family time. I won't be available for work calls after 7 p.m. Watch what happens. Most people respect clear boundaries more than wishy-washy availability. The Stoic response to common objections. But what if they think I'm selfish? Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, who is poor." The same applies to approval. Someone who needs constant validation from others is emotionally poor. True generosity comes from abundance, not depletion. You can't give what you don't have. But what if I lose friends? Epictetus taught, wealth consists in not having great possessions, but in having few wants. This applies to relationships too. Better to have 3 friends who respect your boundaries than 30 who expect you to have none. But what if I hurt people's feelings? Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. You cannot control others' emotional responses. You can only control your own integrity. Being honest and respectful isn't cruel, it's necessary for authentic relationships. The transformation, what changes when you stop people-pleasing? When you stop saying yes to everything, you discover something amazing. You have energy for things that matter. Hobbies return. Dreams resurface. You remember who you were before you became everyone's helper. Counterintuitively, setting boundaries improves relationships. People respect those who respect themselves. Clear expectations prevent resentment and miscommunication. Every time you honor your values over others' expectations, you build self-trust. You prove to yourself that you're worth defending. When your worth comes from within rather than from others' approval, you become less reactive to criticism and more stable in uncertainty. Morning reflection. What are my priorities today? How can I honor my values while being kind to others? Evening review. Where did I act from courage versus fear? Where did I prioritize my character over others' opinions? This simple practice gradually rewires your brain from external to internal validation. Here's the final truth. You will disappoint people. The question is whether you'll disappoint others by being authentic or disappoint yourself by being fake. The Stoics chose authenticity, even when it cost them. Cato chose death over compromise. Marcus Aurelius chose duty over popularity. Epictetus chose wisdom over comfort. You stand at a crossroads. You can continue living for others' approval, exhausting yourself in the pursuit of an impossible goal, pleasing everyone. Or you can choose the Stoic path, living according to your values, finding strength in your character, and building genuine self-respect. The ancient philosophers offer you their greatest gift, the realization that you are enough, exactly as you are, without anyone else's permission or approval. The question isn't whether you're ready to stop people-pleasing. The question is, are you ready to start living? Your authentic life is waiting. The Stoics showed the way. Now it's your turn to walk the path. The transformation begins with your next decision. What will you choose?